Okay, this is your firearms defense channel here again. I think this is going to be about video number 22 in this series. I'm not sure, but anyway, when I post it on YouTube, I'll number it. And today I want to talk a little bit about the criminal mindset and the mindset of law enforcement and the judicial system, and how these people work against us, the honest citizens. First of all, I want to talk about this book that I have here again. I'll give you a close-up of it here if I can. It's How to Own a Gun and Stay Out of Jail. Now, the first thing I want to note here is it's conspicuous by what it doesn't say. You'll note that it doesn't say how to use a gun and stay out of jail. It says how to own a gun and stay out of jail. That's the very, very first problem here with the national mindset, and especially the mindset in California. You shouldn't even be thinking about owning a gun and staying out of jail. Maybe if you don't use it in the proper fashion, maybe that's a problem, but owning a gun and stay out of jail shouldn't even be in the mindset. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Now I want to talk about a couple of scenarios you might run into as a citizen. Let's say you're some guy about 70 years old, and you're old and you got arthritis and you're not in very good shape, and you're driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden this guy drives up beside you and he thinks you cut him off, so he pushes you off the road, and all of a sudden, you know, you're off the road and you stop to see what's going on, and so what you're going to have here is a road rage incident. So say this guy gets out of his car and he goes over to your car and he yanks the door open, he pulls you out of your vehicle. Let's say you're about 5'8", 130 pounds, you're 70 years old and you got arthritis, you're not in very good shape. This guy's 6'4", he weighs 300 pounds, he's 30 years old, and he's a 4th degree black belt. He's got anger management issues, and he just starts pounding on you immediately. And let's say he puts you in the hospital, you know, you wind up in intensive care and do that for a couple of weeks. Now, here's what's going to happen if law even gets involved. They probably won't even catch this guy. He'll probably get in his car and drive away. Let's say they do get lucky and catch him. He's probably going to go through the judicial system. He's going to be prosecuted for misdemeanor assault. He's going to get the charges reduced to simple battery. Of course, he's got a high-priced attorney probably. He's going to be sentenced to probation and anger management counseling. And in the meantime, you're a little bit more beat up and in worse shape, and you suffer for what's going to be the rest of your life. Now, that's probably what's going to happen with that scenario. Now, let's say a different scenario takes place in some sensible part of the country that isn't California, where you can have concealed carry, and let's say this same guy pulls you out of your car and you empty a magazine into the guy. Well, you know, that's what's going to happen in a sensible part of the country, and you're not going to get hurt and he's going to get killed, and that's the way things should be, you know, but it doesn't work that way here in California. If you waste the guy in California here, you're going to get in trouble, because law enforcement and the judicial system are set up for you to get assaulted and seriously injured. That's okay. If you kill this guy with what probably is an unlicensed firearm, and you probably don't have concealed carry, you've caused the judicial system and the police officers a whole lot of work. There's tons of paperwork to fill out, and these people aren't going to be happy, and you know, like I say, you've made their day a hard one. I'll give you another example. Let's say you're a rape victim, a female rape victim. This animal breaks into your apartment and rapes you, and so, you know, it's a typical case. You call 911, they come, they take the report, they get a technician to come out there and do the swab with the rape kit and all that good stuff, and later on, you know, you go for counseling and stuff like this, and let's say they catch this animal, he'll probably get probation, and you know, he'll have to get counseling and stuff like that, you know, or maybe they'll sentence him to 5 years and he gets out in 2 and gets to do it again and stuff like that. So that's how the judicial system is set up to work for this sort of thing, you know. Now, let's take a different scenario. Let's say this guy breaks into your apartment and you waste him, you empty a magazine into him. Well, once again, you've made a whole lot of people in the judicial system unhappy. They're not set up for this. They've got to go there and they've got to call the coroner and they've got to haul the body away and they've got a lot of reports to fill out, and they're probably going to take your weapon and keep it for evidence and you're not going to get it back, and it's just a big fat pain for everybody involved in the judicial system. Their mindset is it's easier for you to be a victim than it is for you to defend yourself and kill these people. That's just their mindset. That's the way it is. Now, I'm only about 6 minutes into this, so I want to talk briefly about other parts of the country where they have sensible self-defense and firearms laws. Texas being a prime example. Texas is my favorite state, although I wouldn't want to live there because it's hot in the summer. I heard this story. I got this story sent to me off the internet. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, if it actually happened. Supposedly it did. This waitress got off late one night in Houston, you know, and she's standing there at the bus stop waiting for a ride home. And she's got her hand in her purse on her firearm because it's a bad area and she's a little concerned. So this puke comes up behind her, grabs her purse, spins her around, and goes to run off with her purse. He gets her purse, but she's got her hand on her firearm, so it just comes out. So she pulls up and shoots the guy 6 times in the back as he's running away. So she was being tried for manslaughter. She was appearing before the judge at the arraignment, and the judge asked her in a very stern and very firm tone, "Ma'am, how come you shot this guy 5 times in the back?" And her reply was, "Because when I pulled the trigger the 7th time, the gun went click." The judge immediately banged his gavel, dismissed the case, and that was the end of that. So, and that's a mindset in Texas. Now, I don't know if this story is true or not. You'll have to check it out and see if it actually happened. But that's a mindset there, and that's the way things should be. I mean, this lady was probably a hard-working waitress, probably a single mom with 2 kids, and she might have had a couple of about $20 in tips in her purse, and I'm sure she needed her money very bad, and this puke wanted to take it for no good reason at all. Now, I got to tell you about another state here briefly. I think all the people in this state are crazy. I think the reason they're crazy is because it's Vermont, and I think Vermont is the icebox of the nation here. And I think being the icebox of the nation, I think to live there you just automatically have to be crazy. Vermont doesn't have any concealed carry laws. There, you just carry if you want to. It's no big deal. One of the state senators tried to introduce a law that it was a law that you had to carry in Vermont. It was a big fine if you didn't. And the reason he introduced this law was that you have an obligation to be part of the Vermont state militia and defend the state constitution. Now, like I say, Vermont can't be a criminal-friendly state at all. In the first place, it's too cold to live there, and in the second place, then people are all armed and probably crazy. I don't know. So that's why the criminals all come to California here, because we're not the icebox and we're a criminal-friendly state. So anyway, I'm 9 minutes into this, so that's about all I wanted to say here. So, yeah, okay, I guess this is going to do it for this one. So I'll go ahead and post this on YouTube and wait for the next one.